Good morning, good morning. Hi, everybody. Hi, I can see that Lynn's here. And as for anybody else, my numbers aren't populating just yet, but hopefully we'll see some more of you arrive soon. All right, so why am I making tiramisu today? Well, we are heading off to down to Sydney tomorrow, and we're off to see family. So this is the favourite family recipe. It gets requested every time we go to just about any family event. So I'm making it ahead of time, and I'll show you how we make it. So. Haven't seen anyone else. I can see, maybe one new person has joined. Say hi in the chat. Let me know who's here. Always love seeing who's joining the live tours. So I don't normally do this, but because I'm at home, I don't normally do this, but I thought it would probably be a sensitive thing to do to acknowledge that we're meeting today on the traditional lands of the Awabakal people and pay my respects to their elders. So I'm at home alone at the moment. Richard's taken the car out to get tyres. If it's not one thing, it's another. So yeah, that's what he's doing right now. Hi, Mary Lou. Good to see you. So he might turn up, and I'm tossing up whether to sort of hold a little bit aside from what I'm making for the family day tomorrow, so that we've got something we can maybe have just for us for lunch today. Anyway, hi Annette, great to see you, and Susan. Hi Susan. Not sure if I know you, Susan. Thank you so much for joining. Where are you from? Okay, so we're in my kitchen, and we're going to make traditional tiramisu. And the reason that I say that this is traditional is that I came across this recipe before it was even really such a popular dessert just about everywhere. We certainly didn't know tiramisu in Australia. We had been taken to a little place in the Dolomites, in the mountains in the north of Italy, for a few days of skiing with one of Richard's aunts. And we were staying in a little pensione in a small town called Val Gardena. In actual fact, it has 3 or 4 different names, this town, in Swiss, or I'm trying to remember because it was so long ago. It was back in 1990, I think. But it was also known as Ortazai and St. Ulrich. So it was this tiny little town, and they even have their own language there called Ladanish, and which was completely unique from the German, the Swiss, the Italian, from the surrounding areas. So we were staying in this pensione, and this dessert came out. So there was Richard, myself, and his Tante Gretchen, and Uncle Ludwig, and the dessert came out, brought out by the lady who ran the pensione, and it blew my mind. It was just so incredibly delicious. And between my lack of any European language, an occasional word here or there, Richard's school German, and Tante Gretchen's interaction with this pensione owner, we were able to scroll down a recipe. So there'll be a slight variation to it today, mainly because I don't have ground coffee. So what I'm doing, I'm actually going to use a coffee syrup that I came across in Aldi. It's probably a little bit sweeter than usual. Hi, Kerry. Nice to meet you. But that'll be used in place of strong coffee. And instead of grated chocolate, I'm going to use coffee powder, cocoa powder. So that'll be the 2 main differences today. Okay, so why don't we get started? So I'm going to turn everything around so that you can see my workspace. Hopefully you can see everything there. I'm propped up on top of my sewing box. All right, let's go around here. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make the custard, and the custard is made with eggs and mascarpone cheese. So I've got 3 eggs here. We're going to separate the eggs into whites and yolks, and then mix them separately. So what we want to do is froth up that beautiful thick white into like almost a meringue consistency. So we'll separate the whites from the yolks. Whites in here. And so who all has been on Andrea and Evie's event this morning watching the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics? I didn't get a chance to see it because it was a little bit early for me, but I heard it was absolutely amazing. So if any of you have come straight from watching the opening ceremony, let me know. How was it? It was a bit different this year because it was held over multiple locations, which is interesting. Okay, so there's my separated eggs. Ooh, I'm just going to wash my hands. Okay, now this is going to be a little bit noisy while I whip up the egg whites. So bear with me, guys, while I just do this. Nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. I'm going to look at the comments in a moment. Always turn the sound off until I'm finished if you want. It's not really whipping up as nicely as I'd like, so I'm wondering if I don't have the freshest eggs. So we're going to leave it there. That's fine. It's it will still taste beautiful. Let me catch up with the comments. And it says, tiramisu is a favourite of mine, even though I don't do coffee anymore. Mary Lou says, I made your last one and it was delicious. Oh, I'm really glad that worked out. And it says, I'm hyper enough without coffee. Maybe you could replace it with something, Annette. Can't think what, but I'm sure there's something you could replace the coffee with. Susan says, I remember your Tim Tam slice, Lynn. Oh, yeah, thank you. That was quite a while ago, and I'll have to see if I've still got the recording from that and upload it as a YouTube premiere, perhaps. Okay, so we're going to mix the egg yolks with a little bit of sugar, around about a quarter of a cup. See, Annette, we do use cups. A quarter of a cup might be a slightly different measure in American than it is to Australian. Here it's roughly, I think, 60 mils. And what that is in fluid ounces, I couldn't tell you. That someone may know. I need to buy some more caster sugar by the looks of it. So this is caster sugar. I don't know what you call caster sugar in the US or in other parts of the world, but it's a fine sugar. It's not icing sugar or powdered sugar. It's a fine sugar, and just because it dissolves better. I might have to turn the air conditioning on. It's getting very hot. Okay, now to mix the eggs. With the sugar.
So Mary Lou is talking about the mango masu that we made for Christmas.
And I've harvested our first crop of mangoes from our mango tree yesterday. And I have them in a basket in the laundry ready to take with me down to Sydney for the to hand around to everybody. I've got about a dozen mangoes out there in the laundry basket. I'll show them to you in a minute when we've done this. Okay, so this is mascarpone cheese. Now it looks to me like you're seeing that backwards. I keep doing this, don't know. I don't know how to turn the camera around in StreamYard. But mascarpone cheese, it's an Italian cheese. It's like a cream cheese, and we're using 250 grams, or I think in American that's about half a pound. So we'll just add a little bit at a time of the mascarpone cheese. It's a very thick cream cheese. Just mix that in. Mix that into the eggs. Oh, Lynn, when we saw the crop this year, last year the bats got to it. This year we're going to have so many left over. I'm not going to make the mistake I did last time and try and take you up to see the tree, because I lost the signal as soon as I moved away from the house. So I won't be making that mistake again. Okay, so this is what it's starting to look like. It actually doesn't matter if you don't mix it in completely, integrating it. If there's a few lumps of cheese in there, it really doesn't matter that much. You don't have to be overly precise with this. My kitchen is very awkward. My PowerPoints are in a very awkward position. I'm also keeping the mixing to a minimum for your listening pleasure. So, yeah. But as I said, it'll still taste just as good. Let me just catch up. Okay. Sandy. Hi, Sandy. Sandy says, I've replaced coffee with Earl Grey, Annette. Oh, that's interesting. Mary Lou says, Annette, I love your idea of mimosas. Good addition with tiramisu. Love Earl Grey, Sandy. I made a delicious Earl Grey bunt cake. And Sandy says, I wish I had experienced a mimosa before my weight loss surgery when my body could have. Oh, yeah, that's something you need to consider, isn't it? You really are limited in what you can eat. Right, almost there. We've almost incorporated all the mascarpone cheese. Just the last little bit. Nice little bit to go in. Okay. There we go. So that's it for the mixer. We're done. We can turn that off, put that away, and that's the last of that noisy stuff that you have to worry about. Okay, so now we add the egg whites into the custard mix. And they should be thicker and firmer than this, but as I keep saying, it will all taste just as good. It just would be fluffier if it was a little bit. firmer the egg white mix, but it will still taste really, really good. And you don't have to worry about mixing all those white fluffy bits in, because they'll flatten out once it's all assembled. And you're going to sit it in the fridge to rest for, a few hours or overnight as well anyway. Okay, so that's the custard mix done. Get that out of the way. And now we're going to make up the coffee solution that we're going to soak the ladyfinger biscuits in. So these are the savaoirdi or sponge finger or ladyfinger biscuits, and they come conveniently in small individual packets. So if you don't use the whole packet, they don't go stale, or they don't go stale as quickly. So I'm going to use about a cup of this iced coffee syrup today. As I said, I don't have ground coffee. I didn't want to use instant. It has to be a nice, good, strong coffee. So I had bought this in Aldi. It's really delicious with cold milk. Very tasty, very moreish. We try not to have it too much because I'm sure it's not good to have it in great quantities. But I'm going to have a cup of that. A cup is about just under, almost made it. That's fine. A cup is about 250 mils in Australian measurements. But again, for a dessert like this, it's all very, they're loose measurements anyway. You don't have to worry too much. And then the magic ingredient is the coffee liqueur or Kahlua. But realistically, you could have any liqueur you desire that you think goes well with the coffee, or whichever liquid you're using to soak your biscuits in. So make up your own combination, but this is how to do a traditional tiramisu. And we're going to use, where's my tablespoon? We're going to use a quarter of a cup or 3 tablespoons of Kahlua. Some recipes use brandy, some recipes use frangelico. And again, it's all down to personal preference, but I love Kahlua. Okay, so that's the Kahlua. And if you go for a flat, I made the mistake last time of using more of a bowl or a jug. So we're going to use a flat-ish container because it'll be easier to dip the biscuits, sponge finger biscuits in. Let me catch up. Where are we? I've been considering doing one. Hold on, I'll have to go back a bit. I like my mimosa with a pineapple orange juice. I tried cranberry juice for a mimosa. It was pretty good. I've been considering doing one with pomegranate juice. That'd be nice. That sounds good. I've always have champagne or mimosa during my old Hollywood. And Lynn says, does your neighbour have a pomegranate tree? Well, yeah, neighbours with fruit trees. Very beneficial. Okay, so now we have our custard mix, our coffee. Let's see, this works better, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, that's much better. Just move these out of the way. Move that back and straight into a handy takeaway container to take with me tomorrow. All right, so they just have a quick dip and straight into the container. You don't want them to be too soggy. You still want them to have some, what would you call it? Mouth resistance when you bite into it. Like, you don't want it to just be slop. So don't put them in the mix for too long. Will that go across? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'll go that way. Right, so that's one layer done. Can you see that? One layer done. And on top of that, we'll spoon, just getting these angles right, it's really tricky. We'll spoon some of the custard mix. I want to leave some so that I can make our own portion to have. So I'm going to be a little bit skimpy so that I can have some leftovers. At this point, you could put some chocolate over top of that, but I'm just going to go straight to the second layer. Okay, so once again, layering up. So it really is a very, very simple dessert to make. The hardest part about this, which is the step that I've eliminated for today, is grating the chocolate, especially in summer. I put the chocolate in the fridge and I put my hands in the fridge in between, in the freezer, clutching cold items out of the freezer to keep my hands cool, so it just doesn't turn into melted chocolate. I've got lots of coffee left over. What time is it? 9:20. Is it too early for Kahlua coffee? Okay, need to have a little bit left for us. And as you can see, it's not an exact science. There we go, a little bit left over. And now all you need to do is I can open the tin. Okay, this is, I've got the expensive stuff. This is Plaistow cocoa, premium Dutch cocoa. It wasn't cheap. It'll last me for years. Okay, so we're just going to tap that over the top. Oh, I am going to put the air conditioner on as soon as I've done this. Oops, I spilled some, dropped some. Sounds like Richard just got home. So I might have to make up that second portion and you can watch him eat it. That's good timing. All right, so that's that. And there we have it. There's our tiramisu. Let me catch up with comments. Where are we? Mary Lou says, I'll be there as soon as I can find a direct flight. I can't hang around airports with my feet. Trump hates Americans, Mary Lou. Okay, must have missed something. What did I miss? Lynn and Richard stayed with at the end of December, so there wasn't much fresh produce blooming. Okay, Mary Lou, that looks so yummy, Lynn. Unfortunately, this is not a good time for Canadians to go to the US. I miss going to California in the late winter. Yeah, all of that discussion, absolutely. All right, so here we go. This is my first harvest Hi.
Oh,
We're just admiring our mangoes. And we're going to make up a second portion for us to try now. You good for that? There we go. Richard's been to the supermarket as well.
I'm framed in light.
You what?
I'm framed with light behind.
Oh, yeah, you've got the halo. And Annette says it's actually not dangerous healing, just a frustrating time in our history. That was a wave. All right, so we've got the main tiramisu made, which I will put the lid on, ready for. Richard's put the aircon on. That I was just about to do that because it's hot. So there we go. That's ready to take with us for tomorrow. Put that in the fridge, and let's make a little second portion for us to share now. I think the container might be too big for the custard I've got left. What else can I do it in? Maybe we just do a single layer. Something like that might be better. Okay, a couple more of these. We get the kettle on, we can have it with a cup of tea right now. So let's make up a little with coffee portion. Why can't I get my angle right? Two of those. Yeah, it's a little bit smaller, this container. Only just fits. Okay. The rest of the custard I saved just enough. And so obviously because it hasn't sat in the fridge for a couple of hours, it hasn't had a chance for the biscuits to soften with the coffee. But that doesn't stop us trying it, does it? There we go. So that can be our coffee morning treat. There we go. All right, who's here? Barbara. Hi, Barbara. Great to see you. People saying hi, Richard, and Barbara came and went. That's all right, no problem. Oh, and I'll get my head in front of that horrible light there. So, Richard, do you want coffee and tiramisu now?
Yes, please.
You didn't expect him to say no, did you? Well, we'll actually have tea, I think.
Tea.
We'll have tea. So, if you could get the tea going.
Yes.
And I'll move the computer out of the way. Come back to that. I'll get this out of the way. Yeah, who was that weirdo? Okay, so Richard's got the tea underway. We're going to have tea and tiramisu. That sounds pretty decadent, doesn't it? So tomorrow, what I'm doing tomorrow morning? No, is it tomorrow? I'm losing track of time. I'm losing track of days. No, Monday. So Monday, I am going to do a YouTube premiere. I've been collecting footage from around the coast. So we've got some big waves down at Merriweather. We've got some rock hopping down at Newcastle. We've got some walking along the shore, along the beach at Nobby's Beach. We've got sitting in a cafe in a couple of locations. One of them on the riverfront, and one of them was at the beach at Stockton. And we also recorded some footage driving through part of the coal port in Stockton as well, so over the north side of the river. So giving you an idea of kind of like the huge infrastructure around the Newcastle, Port of Newcastle. So that's all without commentary. So most of it is sort of, just relaxing, quiet, sort of contemplative type of footage, sort of footage that you might watch if you were looking for some relaxation kind of I'll tell you, my brain isn't functioning today, and Annette kind of knows the reason, but I won't go into the details. And other than that, what I'm doing at the moment is really just doing a fair bit of video editing, trying to revisit old footage. I've got an old Hago tour from Springwood in the Blue Mountains lined up in my editor, ready to deal with. And what else? That's about it for now. Some old footage. I've got some footage from Rich is licking the bowl. If you want, you could mix some milk in with the leftover coffee, because it's got Kahlua in it as well. We could have just had that, in fact. What's remaining in that container, mixed it with some milk and had that with our tiramisu. Good for Richard. Yeah, it's a shame to let the bowl go to waste, isn't it, Lynn? And apart from that, let's just get this tea going so that we can show people eating the tiramisu, Richard. Working on it. And it says, thanks, Lynn, see you Monday. Yeah, I know you have to shoot off. Can hear the tea being made. I'm going to come sit over here. Yeah, we'll sit over here. I'll just move that out of the way. And, thank goodness for that air conditioning. It's really, really clammy, really humid. I came out of a shower only an hour ago, and my hairline at the back of my neck is all damp already. Okay. Do you want to give me a couple of bowls and serving spoon? Okay, we've got bowls.
Is this drinkable?
I would say yes. Just put some milk in it, and
It's for tomorrow.
It's got Kahlua in it. Okay, so this isn't going to be as soft and delectable as if it had sat in a fridge for a couple of hours, but it will still be very tasty. What have you done with the computer? I can't see anything.
You can see it in the bowl.
I know, you can't get good help anymore, can you? Right. Come on, Richard, we're waiting for you to taste. tiramisu at 9:30 in the morning. There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
It's the end of light.
All right, we'll come around here then.
It's what we made earlier.
It just looks like mush.
Yeah, nice mush.
And Susan says, thank you, Lynn. Off to bed now at 10:30 p.m. in a cold and wet UK. Oh, good night, Susan. Annette says, your hair is looking so cute. It was so short when you left here. Look, I've reached that point where I probably would like to get a haircut.
Like Michael Weens on YouTube. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look.
They may not know who Michael Weens is.
Look him up.
He's a Canadian, and he travels for food. He's got a YouTube channel devoted just to eating. Sandy says it's okay to have dessert for breakfast, in my opinion, especially as we get older. How right you are, Sandy.
It's really nice.
It's really nice, even though it's a bit crunchy.
No, it's not.
Not crunchy?
Not crunchy at all.
Okay, let's have
And
a
its
go.
room temperature is different, obviously, in that cold. It's really nice.
That is good. Well, I'm sure you don't want to sit here just watching us eat. Sandy says Richard is a character.
What?
Sandy said Richard is a character.
Am I? Where do I go now? Am I? All right. That's enough of me.
Thank you, everybody, for coming along. I hope you enjoyed it. It just seemed like a waste if I didn't share making it with you, because we were going to make it anyway. So I brought you along for the ride. And hopefully I'll see you on Monday morning. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now. We're off to enjoy our tea and tiramisu. And if you didn't know that QR code at the top there, for anyone who doesn't know, I think that it takes you either to our Facebook group or the calendar. I can't remember which. I think it takes you to the Facebook group. Try it, see where it takes you. Okay. Bye for now, everyone.
Bye.